My name's Andrea Nave and I'm the CEO of Australian charity Forget Me Not. You know, we opened our doors to 6 little girls back in 2006 thinking we were doing the right thing. We opened an orphanage and our orphanage numbers grew and grew and grew until we had a nice, healthy, award-winning orphanage. Until we found out the nasty truth that those children had families and had been moved from their families for good people like us to sponsor them. So we turned it all around and found their families and sent those children home. And now that's the modern day Forget Me Not. We work to get children back to families.
What happens is a lot of the children that end up in orphanages come from remote regions where education, it's not like Australia. It's a privilege to go to school over in Nepal. So there's a lot of uneducated people in these regional places, and so child traffickers head up into these remote areas in Nepal and offer the chance of education. So families give up their life savings to these people who look like they're from the government. They've got all the ID, they've got all the papers, etc. to say, we're from the government, give me all your money and I'll take your child and educate them in Kathmandu. And they can become a doctor or a lawyer and support you in your old age. However, what actually happens is the families hand over the money, do a thumbprint to say, there you go, because a lot of them can't read and write or it's a different dialect, and they never see their kids again when they go off with these child traffickers. And they get sold to an orphanage who then use them as an asset and treat them just as chattel.
So we work with the Nepal government to assess orphanages. We go in with them, have a look around and see what's going on. Many of them are running very below par. We make an assessment for the government. Those orphanages get closed down. We take on some of those children. We spread the work amongst other organisations in Nepal. But we take on some of those children and we nurture them back to health. They come to our transit home, which is called Shaktigar, the House of Power. And they're allowed to be kids. They play in our playground, they eat good food, they sleep till they're not tired anymore, they eat till they're full, they wear clean clothes, they really relax.
So what happens is once we are able to do a rescue, often with the Nepali government, the children are taken from the orphanage and brought to a home where they can settle down and we can start the process of learning, where are you from? Do you remember your parents? And they can, depending on the age of the kids, some of these kids might be 6 months old, some of them might be 15. So their memories of where they're from, they can paint pictures, they can talk about the textiles they remember, their face shape and whatnot. Gives a good clue as to where they might be from. And our reintegration offers are awesome. They spend their lives dedicated to finding out where these kids are from and researching and researching and researching and finding families. So they will hike for days and days on end, months sometimes, to find their families. And then they'll start that slow process of reintegration, perhaps a phone call to a mum. But it takes a bit of time, and also we need to do a psychological evaluation, we need to do a health evaluation and educational evaluation to learn how do we best support these kids to be supported by their families.
So we're working to solve the issue that poverty is what makes families relinquish their children for the price of an education. And that price that they pay through giving their children up to orphanages is a price too high, because children pay with their childhoods. So our work is to reconnect children to their families and then work out ways, unique and otherwise, to keep those children at home through providing great educational opportunities. Sometimes the family needs basics like foods and clothes to get them back on their feet. We'll do what it takes to get a child out of an institution and back with their family. That's our key work. That's what we're about. We're about children at the heart of our organisation. Back in the day when we opened our orphanage, one of the little girls, she was very small, she was 4. She came to us after some years, she was now 9, maybe 10, and she said to me, "Aunt, please, I want to go home." That was news to me because we understood that she was an orphan, had no parents, that's why we were supporting her. But when she looked into my eyes, she told me her truth, that I have a mum and dad, I want to go home. It's like she's saying, I've had enough of the game, of the facade of orphanhood. And it was at that point that our team, Mel, myself and our team behind, decided it was time to get to the very bottom of these girls' backgrounds. Today, she studies at home far away. She's doing a bachelor's degree. She's thriving with the love and support of her family, no longer needing Forget-Me-Not to hold that family up. The work of Forget-Me-Not really was born from the heart. Now, there's one thing that we all have in common globally, every one of us as humans. We're all children. We all know what it feels like to feel joy, to have freedom to play, to love, to laugh, to be silly. We all have that common denominator, and when we realised we were holding children back from that opportunity, we changed. So we know that that common fact of being a child together gives people a compassion that they want to share and help. So helping children be their best, helping children move through the hardships of life sometimes takes extra work. And with the opportunity to be their best, we can go on to help more and more and more and more children do that through education, through wellbeing assessments, through mental health support, to help kids smile again. That's why this campaign means the most to us.
Oh, look, we are so incredibly grateful to Boom Shankar for coming on board, and Boom Shankar have always been a great supporter. However, this collaboration in particular is going to make such a difference in the lives of so many people. A little bit goes a long way in the countries that we work in, and we'll be able to educate children, we'll be able to reunite children with family. What would you pay to reunite a child with its family? By using the Smile campaign and purchasing these fabulous clothes, you also get to do that. How awesome is that?
Smiling, to me, is powerful. You walk past somebody in the street, you don't know them, and you smile. What do you share with that? You give a little bit of some form of energy or some form of happiness. Whether they take it on and smile back or not, it doesn't matter, but it's a beautiful gift. I became involved with Forget-Me-Nots about 15 years ago through an amazing friends group in Yamundi, and when I heard the story from Mel Auntie, it touched my heart. Boom Shankar's been running for about 30 years now, and we've always been involved in helping give back in some way. And when I heard this story, I just thought my heart is right there, right now. And so we got involved in small ways and big ways. As a business, it was amazing to be able to look at ways where we could financially help Forget-Me-Not in a much bigger scale. I followed my heart with the most amazing family that became really my family and has grown incredible since then. By wearing and purchasing these, you are giving back to our incredible organisation. Also, we would love you to buy these and share the story. When you wear it and people say to you, I love what you're wearing, explain it. Let's pass this out, because it's only through our talking that we can help educate people, and we can make this flow-on effect where we can actually change lives.